Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to just give it a few minutes here to let people join, and then we'll get started. All right. Hi, everybody. I know we've still got some people coming in, but we're going to get started so that we can stay on time for everyone, respect everybody's time today. So thank you so much for joining us at our Forward Thinking webinar. This is the third one that we have done. So you're a veteran. If you've been to all of them, if this is your first one, welcome. I'm Jasmine. I am the marketing manager here at Genumark. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us as we explore sustainability and diversity in branded merch. We've got some really great guests that are going to be speaking to you today from our supplier partners at Redwood Classics Apparel, Gemline, and Gordon Sinclair. Each one of them cares really deeply about building a more sustainable and equitable merch industry. As for Genumark, you might know, as you can see from my background, that we are a certified B Corporation. So what this means is that we are very committed to high standards of environmental performance, accountability, and transparency. We believe the merch that you buy should leave a positive impression on both your clients and the environment. So as we move through the webinar today, we hope that you will be inspired by the speakers that you hear and the products that they show you. And creating a positive impact through your next merch purchase doesn't have to be that complicated. And that's what we aim to show you today. Also, because you're joining us at the end of the webinar, we are going to share with you a link to our forward thinking guide. You get to see it before we release it to the public. It features not only the companies that are speaking today, but many other of our favorite sustainable merch picks. So just a reminder, any of the products that you hear about today, you can order them through your Genumark rep. So be sure to reach out to them if you have any questions. But of course, if you have questions during the event, please put them into the chat and we will be happy to answer them for you. So now, without further ado, I am very, very pleased to welcome our first speaker. Kathy Cheng is the president of Redwood Classics Apparel. It is a woman-owned and diverse-owned apparel manufacturer right here in Canada. Kathy is an outspoken advocate for ethical and sustainable apparel supply chains. And as one of the few full-service apparel manufacturers in North America, Kathy uses her platform to educate about what it takes to create high-quality garments that last and why it's important. Kathy, welcome to the Forward Thinking webinar. Please share with us a little bit about Redwood Classics and then we will chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we've got some slides going on. Um, Maybe we'll do the first one here. And basically, it was thank you for having me, first and foremost. And then we'll go to the second slide, Mark. Thank you. Really, our business, we are a proudly made in Canada, family-owned manufacturer. I'm second generation on Canadian soil. The business really started as an apparel manufacturer for a number of retail and designer brands, and really that is still what we specialize in. And we joined the promotional product industry industry or the branded merchandise industry about 16 years ago because we felt, or I personally felt like there was a niche in the marketplace for really high quality, high end goods that amazing corporations could build lifestyle brands around. We are women owned certified, as Jazz mentioned. We're also minority owned certified under CAMC. And as she also mentioned that we have been recognized for our advocacy in supplier diversity, or because of the political landscape now, I believe we use the term supplier inclusion and also economic empowerment. And as we go on, I think I'll share that a lot of this is very much influenced by my lived experiences and our family's lived experiences. So as I mentioned, we are based in Toronto, and we proudly make everything here in our Scarborough facility. And if we go to the next step, next slide. In our Scarborough facility here, we don't knit domestically here. We don't have a knitting facility, but we do commission knit. So we bring in yarn by the container and then we actually commission knit. About 50% of the fabric we consume at the factory level is knitted within 100 miles radius of us. So when we talk about really local, we really are investing in local manufacturing. Those that may or may not know, probably there's not a lot of products that are made in Canada, especially in apparel. Over the years, what we've done is we constantly reinvesting in our own supply chain. So we've grown from, in 1988 being a small sewing contractor to over the years, we've now expanded into having a dye house. We commission knit, and you'll see that there's a laundry facility. So we actually take every dye lot of fabric, and this is unique. It's not a trade secret at all, but in order to really behind the scenes focus on the quality of the product, we take every dye lot of fabric, unroll the fabric, wash and dry the fabric, re-roll it before we cut and sew. We also do cutting here. Obviously, we do the sewing, and then we have decoration partners locally as well that help us with the decoration, and finishing is 100% hand inspection, very much handcrafted products that we offer. And then in the shipping, if I could just go to the next slide. In terms of our shipping, we are FOB Toronto, but what people don't realize is when you're made in Canada, we have access to 15 active trade agreements. I know we talk about it a lot more now, but we've been leveraging our trade agreements for the last number of years, not only as an export opportunity, but actually from an importing. So looking at your supply chain, not just where you export in terms of sales, but also where you import, where we can be more competitive as a Canadian manufacturer. Next slide. This is just a little, kind of history of our journey in terms of diversity and also sustainability. So these are just some of the recognition that we've received over the years, over the last decade or so, in terms of us advocating for diverse voices. And also for myself, I would say this has definitely been a journey because even 10 years ago, I don't believe there was such a safe space in the business environment for us to be loud and proud to be female owned, to be loud and proud that we are minority owned. I can't change the color of my skin. I'm Chinese descent. And, I think about when we restructured the business, I became my dad's business partner. It was what was the cheapest, what was the quickest, and everything made in China was having a, fast fashion and bad reputation. So it took a long time. And because I think a lot of the corporates, if we have corporates in this, on the call right now. Mark, if we can get to the next slide. Because of, you'll see all the corporations, these are corporations that are part of CAMC. So you're supporting Canadian Aboriginal Minority Supplier Council. And with that support, it really does enable suppliers like myself to feel like it's a safer space to identify who we are and be loud and proud as Canadians, that we are minority owned. This is just a little feature that we were featured in CAMC's Economic Impact Report. So it's about Made in Canada. It's not just about creating jobs, but another thing that I think we're part of is we enable an ecosystem of smaller designer brands that are able to scale as well. And with that, then as part of the ecosystem, we are also able to have an economic impact. And that's why we were featured in the Economic Impact Report. So, Jazz, I think, yeah. Well, there was this one too. I mean, I didn't want to go on too long, but people do say, why is supplier So supplier diversity important, and I think a big part of it, when you're a large organization, you may not have the agility as a smaller organization such as ourselves that we can be innovative. And this is a great example. We talk about upcycling now. We've been upcycling, we brought upcycling into the promotional product industry since 2015, and we've also won Best in Gold in that. This is an example of where we took an already branded 3M umbrella and then we deconstructed it and turned them into pillows, and that's where you're seeing there. So that's just kind of a summary of what we are and who we are.
Yeah, I love the upcycling part. I mean, that's one of the things that I think you did before really anyone that
Yeah,
I know about in the
we were the first
industry.
one. Yep.
Yeah, and so you even now you have some really great collections where you take wool sweaters and
Yeah.
you upcycle those instead of them, hitting the landfill, which is what they would typically do. You
Yep.
make them into mitts and
Well,
hats, and it's really very innovative, and I applaud you for being, kind of
thank you.
the
Well, I'm actually
the
modeling something right now. This
Oh,
is a
okay.
blazer that we upcycled. So the lapels and all of this, and let me stand up a little bit here, but you'll see, those are actually, these were wool pants. So I wore them for the webinar to show that like we can be creative, we can be, really innovative in terms of what we bring to the marketplace.
Yeah, and there's another upcycling thing that you did a few years ago that I would love for you to chat about, which is you took banners that were used on the street
Yes.
and
Yes, we
you
did.
made something new out of those. Can you talk about that?
Yes. Yeah, we took so basically, I don't know if people realize that when think about a sporting event, when there's a big sporting event, and it was actually for the Pan Am Games, that created about 56,000 tons of textiles or plastic, single-use plastic. So, and those banners, people don't think banners, you're like it's plastic. It is plastic. So what we
Hmm.
ended up doing is we purchased those banners from the city of Toronto. And we ended up creating an accessory line of laundry bags, of tote bags. And so every piece is unique. It's part of the banners, but we're able to divert waste diversion. And that's a big thing because plastic takes a long time you know, to go away in our on Earth. So versus that's the other thing in Redwood. We really focus on natural cotton
Hmm.
which is sorry, cotton, which is a natural fiber. So the
Hmm.
decomposition of that is much more friendlier to the earth.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I did want to talk about too. I mean, you have mentioned before, I've seen in some interviews and stuff that you have done that you have said that sustainability is not just the end product. I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
think it's this tangible thing that they're holding and that's what's sustainable, but actually it's the entire journey of how you get to that product that is what's sustainable. So can you talk a bit more about what you mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think often it's easy to ask, is that organic or is this recycled or whatever it may be? And we're focusing on what was produced versus how we produce. When you have
Hmm.
local production, for example, us, when I share that 50% of the raw material that we consume at the factory level is knitted within a 100 miles radius of us, what does that mean? That means that's less emission. The fact that we're made in Canada, to give you an example, one container of yarn is equivalent to approximately 2 to 3 containers of finished garment. And most of the garments that we consume in North America are made offshore. So again, think about the emissions. I did want to
Hmm.
mention the reason why we're not able to do more than 50% is because there hasn't been enough support for local manufacturing. And so it's
Hmm.
not because I don't want to use local manufacturing and knitting, it's because there hasn't been any support. And so a lot of it is we're constantly reinvesting in the infrastructure. Why would a cut and sew facility even stock yarn? We're stocking yarn. We stock more yarn, probably more than some of the knitters. And it's because the knitters don't want to take that risk. So as an apparel manufacturer, we have taken a lot of financial risk in order to even build the ecosystem that we have so we can support great distributors like the right sleeve. I mean, so like the Genumark of the
It's
world.
all right. Right sleeve is Genumark, or it's all good. Yeah, no,
Oh, the
that's
other,
so
sorry, I
true.
did
Yeah,
want to
go ahead.
mention one more thing that we do. We actually power, it's also just how we manufacture, not what we manufacture. So as an example, a few years ago, we invested in a really, really large boiler. And right now, our dye house facility, as well as our laundry facility, is actually powered by clean energy. It's all steam run. And so
That's
we
awesome.
invested in new machines to do that as well.
That's perfect. I love that you're investing in it and you're making the case that people should invest in it too.
Yeah, we should
And
all
that,
invest in it.
yes, that's a great segue into something that you also say, which is invest in quality. And
Yes.
I wanted to point out that back during the Winter Olympics, which was only 2 weeks ago, but for some reason feels like it was forever ago at this point,
Yeah.
you posted on social media a throwback to a Roots hoodie that you had made in
Yes.
your factory
Yes.
for the
Yes.
Olympics back in
Yeah.
2002. And
Yeah.
the person that was wearing it, it looked as if they had just bought it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
that really is a testament to the invest in quality ethos that you have. So can
Yes.
you kind of speak a bit about
Yeah.
why that's so important to you?
Absolutely. I think it's longevity of a product, right? And that's why
Mm.
when we first entered the branded merchandise industry years ago, we felt like there was a niche because people would say, "Oh, this is great product, great product." And you think about all the Fortune 500s or every company, you spend so much on marketing and creating your logo and whatnot. Why? Because we want that visual to continue. We want that impression to continue. But if you
Mhm.
don't invest in the quality, which is, I would say, whatever the product may be, it may be a really good pen. If it doesn't have enough ink and you're only going to write it 3 times and then it becomes
Mhm.
garbage, then that's not really getting you the ROI, right? Same with let's say the
Mhm.
sweatshirt. If you buy a sweatshirt, you put your logo on it, you're only going to wear it a couple of times before it falls apart or it torques and it shrinks, and you're just like, you don't have a good experience. So, from a corporate branding standpoint, why not invest in quality? Because then that ROI and that t-shirt that's going to be in your closet for years to come, your ROI is pennies versus if someone you put it on an inferior product, they're going to wear it once or twice, if even, it becomes
Yeah,
dollars is your ROI. So,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kathy, we this went really quick.
I
I wish
did.
we could talk longer. I love chatting with you. Eh, if anyone has any questions, I'm just quickly checking the chat here. Everyone's saying, Kathy, you're amazing. Yes, I agree. You can feel the quality of a Redwood product. Yes, you can. I have Redwood products as well in my closet. I mean, they're amazing. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the sweatpants are my fave because I work from home. So, let's go sweatpants. Um, okay, I think that's it. Kathy, thank you so much. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you taking the time to chat with us and share your story. Um, yeah, everyone just says how much they love your stuff and how much they love you. So,
Thank
Kathy,
you.
thank you. We really appreciate you coming on
Thank
today.
you. Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you. Okay, well, everyone, moving right along. We are pleased to welcome our next guest. It is Heather Cohen. She is a national account manager at Gordon Sinclair. So Gordon Sinclair is one of our suppliers, and they are committed to using natural resources responsibly, investing in the planet's long-term well-being, and ensuring that all people involved in their business are treated fairly. They're also a member of the Green Business Benchmark. They have a Bronze Sustainability Award from EcoVadis, and they donate 1% of proceeds from their eco-friendly items to water.org. So they've really got their stuff together. We love Gordon Sinclair. So Heather, welcome to Forward Thinking
Thank you.
and take it away.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen as well as I start, just because, hold on. I remember to share. Thank you guys. Can you see the screen that I'm sharing? Okay, perfect. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be able to share. I think I'm going to have to reach out to Kathy afterwards and find out about how I can get get some apparel because this stuff sounds amazing. And I think one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be part of this, and also one of the reasons I enjoy working at Gordon Sinclair, is because personally, these values of sustainability, reusable, I love the upsourcing, up redoing. Sorry, I don't remember the right word that Kathy said. But I totally align with all of those values personally. So it really makes me feel excited to be able to work with a company and work with partners that have the same goals about sustainable products, ethically sourced products, and whatnot. So Jasmine did cover some of the over overview of Gordon Sinclair, and I'm just going to sort of dive into that a little bit more in the short time that I do have. So I actually live in the GTA. I know we've probably got people from all over, but I do live in Toronto. But Gordon Sinclair is a family-run business. We're based out of Pennsylvania. We've been in business for over 35 years, and there's something really special about having a family-run business. More and more we're seeing companies be bought out. So it's something special, I find, because there's the ability to have a voice. And we are also a women-owned business. And I know Kathy was speaking about that. It is something that we are very proud about. Currently, our entire sales team is all female driven. Nothing against men, but it's definitely something that we're very proud of, to be able to have the family owned aspect and the women owned as a minority business as well. And Gordon Sinclair, the reason, for anyone who's not familiar, I was saying I would want to get some apparel from Kathy, is because Gordon Sinclair is a hard good supplier in the industry. So we're most well known for our drinkware, but we definitely have a lot of other great items. And we really focus on providing great items, unique imprint methods. And when I say great items, we want durable items, things that are going to last. We don't want to have a promotional item that, your client's taking and they hand it over to somebody and the person's like, thanks, and they're going to toss it. So regardless of what it's made of, how it's made, we want it to be a quality product. So we really focus on, no matter the price point, the piece that you are getting or using is going to be well made. So we really do focus on where we're sourcing our products and what they're being made out of. So Jasmine mentioned that we are part of EcoVadis. We have a surprise. We are actually now silver rated in EcoVadis for 2026. And this is really, really exciting. So EcoVadis is a full ESG, environmental, social, and ethical rating. And every single year you have to renew. And you are actually competing against other companies within the same industry. So there's actually over 200 industries that participate in EcoVadis, but when we are going for our rating, it is against other suppliers and distributors in the promotional industry. So we did have bronze last year, and we're very excited that this year we are now at silver, which actually puts us in the top 15%. A couple key things to know about EcoVadis is that it's a great resource for anybody who is part of the group, because you can actually log in to the EcoVadis and get all of our material, all of our documentation. And that includes things like testing, whether it's product testing, ink testing, and factory testing. We also, of course, share this whenever, it's requested, if a client reaches out to me. And we do see a lot of requests for test results or factories that are approved. You can source products, especially in the Orient. Let's be real, you can find anything and everything you're looking for, but you don't always know all the details about where you're getting it from. Is the factory that you're working with, is the manufacturer going to, be ethical in their performance with how they're treating their staff and wages, and where are they sourcing the materials from? So EcoVadis is not just about environmental, it's also about the ethical and social performance. And I think when you look at sustainability, I think that does all matter, as one, because we're trying to do better, trying to produce better products made from recycled products that can be recycled. So it kind of goes hand in hand that we should be working in an ethical environment. And so even though I work remotely in Toronto, I have a score sheet that I have to fill out, and our factory in PA. So at every level, we are being subjected to the EcoVadis ratings and evaluation. So I'm very excited that we moved up to silver this year. And just let this video quickly play for you guys. So as Jasmine mentioned at the beginning, we do have a give back with water.org. So for any sustainable purchase that you make with us, 1% of proceeds goes to water.org. That's a little video that they have. And it would make sense for us. We are primarily known as a drinkware supplier. So we, partnered with a water organization. Water.org is fantastic because they help from a financial perspective as well, so that communities can build proper plumbing and resources that are needed so that they can have safe drinking water and sanitized water, so that they can, instead of having to travel for it and whatnot. So it's a really beautiful organization that we are really, really proud to be partnered with. So any item in our line that is made out of sustainable material, 1% of proceeds go to water.org. So I think it works in that picture of really just not only sourcing sustainable items, but what else can we do from a sustainable perspective? We can give back. And so that's what we're doing with water.org. And then we also have a wonderful partnership with Aware. Aware is a European company that actually allows for full transparency on threaded items, so on soft goods, whether it's apparel or, in our case, on bags. So the Aware partnership actually has tracers embedded in the thread. And so whenever you get a bag that is in or any type of product that is in partnership with Aware, inside there will be a little tag, as you can see on the picture there. When you scan the QR code, first and foremost, it's going to verify the material. So for ours, we have a partnership. Our line is called Trace and Carry. Everything in that line is made out of 70% post-consumer recycled cotton and 30% post-consumer recycled polyester. Kathy was mentioning how important cotton is to use because of the recycling aspect of it. And we're using post-consumer, so we're upcycling it as best we can. I will say that 30% bit of polyester makes it an extremely soft and well usable, super comfortable bag. I'm obsessed with the entire line. And so when you scan that QR code, the Aware website verifies that that's the material. And you can also click to see the journey, which is something that I think is fantastic. I know if I've been on the H&M website, I've been able to see where their factories are. When I cross the border and go to Target and look at their kids' clothes, they also have information. And I'm sure there's other companies, in the retail space that are doing this as well. People want to know where it came from. And it's one thing for me to say this is where it came from, but this is full transparency, there's no mistaking. So it's a real commitment to be fully transparent, not only to our clients, to whoever this bag ends up with. So it's just something we're really proud of. And also it says, helping to dismantle greenwashing. I think a lot of times when sustainability first came into our industry, it would be like, what does sustainable mean to you? What are you really looking for? So it's not a non-woven bag that you can just reuse, because we know that a non-woven bag will sit in the landfills for thousands of years. So we're really trying to actually have, products that really are made from recycled material and can be recycled at the end of their life cycle, and are well made so that the life cycle for whoever is with the product is going to use it for a long time coming, and it's going to last for a very long time with them. The other thing that I want to quickly mention on very quickly before I end is our decoration methods. So it's not just about our imprint method. It's not just about our products and our factories that we're careful about, sourcing sustainable products and using sustainable products. It's also our imprint methods. So we have an amazing laser. This is a laser 360 that you're actually seeing. This is a 40-ounce double-walled recycled stainless steel tumbler. It's 90% recycled stainless steel, 100% recycled plastic, and then we have laser engrave. So laser engrave is like the #1 sustainable imprint method for hard goods, because there's no toxic chemicals or anything like that. You're just literally lifting up the top layer. So it is, the best option from a sustainable standpoint. And with our Laser 360, we're able to actually do seamless printing on non-handle drinkware. We can do a full seamless edge-to-edge imprint. So it's really top notch. And then last but not least, we also have our digital full color print, which is fully seamless as well, is also a great sustainable option. It uses less ink than a standard screen print and also does not release or emit harmful chemicals and scents into the air. So it's more precise with how much it's using, and and you're not having the harmful chemicals out. And then we've also got it on one of our new tumblers that is, a recycled stainless steel piece. So that is it ended on me. So it was like, you're done. But yes, that is where we stand. We're very committed to having sustainable products and just the whole picture being sustainable. So
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. We got no questions, but again, lots of love in the comments. They said that the engraving is beautiful. Yes, we agree. They said that you're the best. Agreed. Thank you so much for taking
yeah,
the time to
absolutely.
present
It's
today.
my
That was
pleasure.
really awesome. Okay, so we have one more presenter. Last but certainly not least, we are excited to welcome Alix Webster, Regional Sales Manager at Gemline. So Gemline is also a certified B Corp, which, as we mentioned earlier, means that they are committed to the highest standards of social and environmental performance, accountability, and transparency. And when I was doing my research on Gemline, I found out that in 2024, they donated over 500,000 US dollars to local and national charities. So they are doing good in the world. And we are absolutely thrilled to welcome Alix to the Forward Thinking webinar.
Thank you for having me, Jasmine. I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to share my deck with all of you. So I really wanted to focus on 3 areas where Gemline is focused and our corporate social responsibility. So we are going to move into being a B Corp certified supplier. So we're, I believe, the only major hard goods supplier in the industry with this certification. And we do have some really amazing distributor partners that are also B Corp, Genumark being one of them. And then in our collection, we have actual B Corp certified merchandise as well as in addition to retail brand partners that I'll share with you. And then on the second area of focus for us is on the next slide is our carbon footprint tracking. So unique to Gemline, we have a carbon footprint reporting on over 250 pieces in our collection. So what this is we have partnered with a third-party organization that gives a report card basically on these 250 styles on how much emissions are released into the atmosphere for the manufacturing of the product, down to the zipper pulls, the taping, the thread, the fabric, the transportation to Gemline in Massachusetts, as well as the decoration. So we're given a carbon footprint rating, which we gladly share on our website, as well as our distributors can see that as well. And we use this as really a checkpoint for ourselves. So for example, this backpack in our collection, the current order was 3.26 kilos of carbon was released into the atmosphere to have this delivered to the United States. So what our sourcing team will do is evaluate that and find ways to source more environmentally sustainable. So maybe they could purchase from a closer factory overseas. Maybe they are bringing it over by ocean versus air. All of those things are considered to lower our carbon emissions within our products that we make. And then the third area of focus on the next slide, I think there's a little delay, I'm sure Mark's on it, is the elimination of harmful chemicals. So Gemline is very focused on eliminating chemicals within our collection that we know are harmful to humans and to the planet. So first off is PFAS, which I'm sure you've heard of in Teflon pans, in your plastic spatulas, in your laundry detergent. We're constantly exposed to PFAS. And a great way to look at it for me is to just try, you're never going to eliminate all of it, but just eliminate your exposure. So Gemline is committed and has none of our products in our collection have PFAS in them. And they are called forever chemicals because they're chemicals that accumulate in your body and your body has a very difficult time releasing them. So they do continue to compile inside your system. And the second area of focus in the elimination of harmful chemicals is PVCs. So we are committed to removing all PVCs from our collection. We're over 97% there, and we have goals to be completely PVC free before the end of 2026. So PVC stands for polyvinyl chloride. It is a known carcinogen. It's not only horrible for humans and for animals, but it's also a very high carbon footprint. So Gemline has looked at creative ways to be sourcing without the need of PVCs. And then moving into some fun things about products. So within the Gemline collection, you have access to over 30 retail brand partners under our roof. And some of these you're going to look at and say, oh, I know High Sierra and Samsonite and Cuisinart. And some of them you might be like, I'm not so sure who Ringo is or Hartman, but we'll touch on some of the new ones in a moment. So lots of great options to choose from. And then within those collections, there is, on the next slide, there is 7 B Corp certified brands that you can choose from under our roof. So Bosca, Native Union, and Mir are all retail brand partners. Then Aviana, Travis and Wells, Rumi, and all of the Gemline collections are all B Corp certified product options. And then moving into some of our trends. So every year, Gemline identifies 3 cultural trends and really infuses all of those into our product options that we design and manufacture, as well as the retail brand partners options that we pick and choose from to build our collection out. So for 2026, our trends are replenish, travel life, and new prep. So rolling into replenish, it's not just about the workout and the effort put in at the gym. It's about your rest and recovery. It's about how much is your body really recovering from that and healing. So in this trend, we've really tried to incorporate intentional wellness, ritualized recovery, restorative design, and everyday calm. So in this collection, we've got products to support with Mir. So Mir, as I mentioned, is one of our B Corp certified suppliers. We've got 2 new drinkware styles from them, as well as an additional large, extensive collection on our website. But what's exciting that I'd love to share is that they have 4 certifications, environmental certifications, as well as their products all being PVC and BPA free. But Mir is now going to be sold at Starbucks. So you're going to start seeing those Mir pieces popping up at your local Starbucks, whereas previously they didn't have very much retail presence here in Canada. It was mostly online. Next brands that we have in the replenish trend is Ringo. So Ringo is a brand new retail brand for us. They are going to be rolling out at the Apple stores. So it's not only your double wall insulated PVC BPA free drinkware vessel, but it's also your tripod on the go. So with a flip top handle that also doubles as a magnetic mag ring to position your phone for videoing your golf swing, in-car navigation, maybe it's taking a Teams call on the go train. Lots of great options for this drinkware piece and available in 2 sizes and 6 colorways. Next up, we have some options from Corksicle. So as you see on your social media feed, in fashion and in home design, it's all about the neutrals and the warm colors coming back. Well, we've added some new colors in our best-selling Corksicle pieces that are all double wall insulated, BPA free, in the new cacao chocolate brown, as well as the brick red. And then rolling over into the Aviana collection, we have some new pieces, some new colorways rather, in the Arc water bottle. So 25-ounce flip top lid, B Corp certified, as well as toxin free. Moving over into the last few slides in Replenish, we have new options from Modern Sprout. So a retail brand partner out of Chicago. They have a new terracotta grow kit sets available in aloe, bonsai, or cactus. And again, PVC free and recycled material. So what a great way to give something that's going to grow on your windowsill, minimal light, minimal care required, but a beautiful little greenery in your kitchen or your living room. And then last out, rounding out the collection is options from our brand partner, Slow Tide. Now, they're available in all sorts of retail stores in the States, including Nordstrom's. Extensive collection of towels and blankets and beach throws. We've got some new beach towels and pool towels here. Performance Quick Dry, made 100% from post-consumer waste. There's about 23 plastic bottles per towel, and it's Okeotex certified, so non-toxic. You'll see that certification on children's clothes, also PVC-free and recycled. Then rolling into our next trend, travel life. So it's all about being travel ready, elevated functionality, seamless transition, and the emotional fulfillment that travel brings us all. So we've got some amazing products to support this category. First off, we have, drawing a blank on my next slide here. Mark's got it. There we go. American Tourister. 3 new travel options from American Tourister. So not only luggage tag, a 4-piece packing cube set with that laundry bag that we all forget to bring, as well as a shoe bag. So not only for travel, but also for the gym bag. We could all use a shoe bag to keep those, dirty shoes off of the rest of our pieces. And then moving into some new options from Gemline, we have the luggage tag with a security sleeve. So that slides right over. So your home address and phone number is not for everyone to see as you're gliding through the airport. We've got ergonomically designed foam pillow, a supplement case, and a travel scale. So you're never caught paying those overage fees. And because these all fall under Gemline, you know that they're B Corp certified. And last, and not maybe one of the last, I think, Samsonite. We've got some new options from them. So love this. A lot of buzz at the shows with this new convertible luggage cover. So it is a backpack or slim computer sleeve that unzips with spandex gussets on either side to hold drinkware, your umbrella. You've got pockets for your passport, your travel documents, and then obviously the sleeve for your computer. You can roll right to your seat, slide your backpack off, throw your suitcase in the overhead compartment, and then you're able to work from your seat. And as you get to your meeting destination, you've got a slimline backpack to travel the city, but it can also be used as a computer sleeve as well. So perfect gift for the business traveler that has everything. The Samsonite hard-sided case also is recycled. Then moving into the companion piece, the beverage caddy. So this is really cool. Folds completely flat. When it pops open, it's got a strap to slide down your luggage trolley handle, and it will hold 2 drinkware pieces, as well as pockets for your cell phone and your passport. You can wheel right to the gate and have your drinks held for you. So not only for the business travel, but I'm thinking about people traveling with children and small ones. It is nice to be able to hold hands and keep track of all those little ones in the airport. And then Samsonite Better Than Basics. So definitely more of a ladies silhouette in a business tote, available in the very fashion forward limestone, as well as the classic black. And then moving into our next product category is new prep. So this is all about that 90s preppy look reimagined. So it's the elevated everyday. Thinking Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and those classic looks. So rolling into New Heritage Supply Legacy Collection. So it's 4 bag silhouettes and a toiletry case or a tack pouch, your choice. And they're all available in either the super modern trench coat color or the classic black. They all feature a hickory striping on the inside, all made of rPET recycled material and vegan leather patched accents. Beautiful, sold individually or kitted as a travel gift. Next up in new prep, we have got some new options from our retail brand partner Ahead. We have quite an extensive line from this retail golf brand. And so for new prep, we've added the classic bucket hat, the Nantucket Stewart striped ball cap in some pastel colors, and then the snapback 1995 cap. That just brings me right back to the 90s. And then moving into some tote bags. So we have got the Trader Joe's tote in the full size, the mini, and then we just launched in January the petite canvas tote. So perfect sizing for a notebook and a snack bar and a pen in a room drop, something like that, where you've got a price point, but you also want an item that people are going to take away and use again with your logo. So some really great options, 5 colorways in each, all with a natural base. And then we've added a cute little pouch that can be used as a pencil case or toiletry kit on the go. So some really great options with the cotton fabrication. And that is everything. Thank you so much for having me today. I was happy to share what Gemline's doing on the corporate social responsibility front, as well as some of our new products and how they tie into the trends for 2026.
That's awesome. Thank you, Alex. I mean, those hats, as a 90s teenager myself, those took me right back.
I know, right?
I definitely need some of those.
Well, I can get
We do have one question, Jasmine, that's from Tom asking, do you offer any sustainable electronics?
We have the Native Union collection, which is out of a European line, out of Paris, France, and they are a B Corp certified tech company. So we do have options.
And I believe some Native Unions in our catalog that we're going to be launching at the end of this website.
Amazing. Thank you for including it.
Thank you, Alex. This has been great. I want to thank all of our speakers, Kathy, Heather, Alex. Really appreciate the three of you taking time out of your day to present what your business does and all the great sustainable products that you have. Really, really appreciate it. So we have come to the end of our webinar, but as I mentioned at the beginning, as a special treat for people who have attended today, we are releasing our forward thinking guide, which is going to feature, of course, all three of the companies that you saw today, as well as other great sustainable ideas. So you get to see it first before anybody else sees it. Earth Day is April 22nd, and Earth Month is all of April. So it's a great time if you haven't incorporated any sort of sustainable products yet into your merch buys. This is the perfect time to do it. As always, everything that you saw today and everything that you see in the guide, you can get from your Genumark rep. So be sure to reach out to your rep. And thank you all so much for joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to email your rep and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Other than that, thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
The guide is in the chat. There's both US and Canadian versions. I'll leave it there and leave it live for a few minutes for everyone to click on it before we end the webinar.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, Kathy's taking a picture. Hello. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.